If you're in year 9 and about to go to year 10, so basically you're about to start your GCSEs, this video is for you. Approximately 3 years ago, I started my GCSEs and I obviously finished them a long time back and I got good grades. So I know what I'm talking about, right? But the thing is, a lot of students going from year 9 to year 10 do not know what they're in for, they don't know how to study, they don't know what to study. So this video is basically a guide for year 10 and year 11 students on how to do their GCSEs. Even if you're in year 11 right now, it doesn't matter, you can still watch this video because the tips I'm going to give is basically what mistakes you should avoid and what you should do and how you should study. So I'm going to discuss 4 different points in this video, and let's just start with the first one. So point number 1 is learn the correct way to study. Now this is something that this is something different that you don't really talk about before. There are different ways to study, and from the start, like ever since we were small, we were taught, note making notes is probably the best way to study. So you look at a textbook, you write down the important information, you get your highlighters out, you highlight stuff. It seems productive, but it really is not. And the question remains, how should you be studying? Learning how to study. This is kind of ironic, but anyways, the way you're supposed to be studying is by using active studying method instead of passive, such as highlighting, rereading, note taking. All of that is kind of passive. The way you're supposed to be studying is by using active methods. So active recall, spaced repetition. These two are the main things that you should be studying. I'm going to record a video on going over note taking and their effectiveness and all of that in a bit. But in today's video, let's just stick to this. Now, the way you're going to be studying is by using active recall and spaced repetition. I will describe this in detail in another video, but for now you can go ahead on YouTube and watch Ali Abdal's video or anyone else's video on how to study and stuff like that, right? So you're supposed to use active studying methods, and that will not only save you time, but it will enhance your learning by 100%. So the first thing that you can do for you is take out time of, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, not more than that. Go ahead and learn how to study. Make a plan on how you're going to study throughout the year. Once you do that, you're going to notice a spark in your academic grade, and you're going to be left puzzled because you didn't know how to study up until now. Now, this is tip number 1. Tip number 2, what I'm going to say is do practice questions of each topic. Now, active recall is essentially just past papers. So the way I want you to do this, let's take chemistry for example. If you're doing chemistry, GCSE chemistry, you're gonna have a topic called the periodic table, obviously. Once you finish saying the periodic table, what I want you to do is go ahead and use a website of any of your choice and go ahead and do topical past papers of it. For me, I would recommend Examinate because Examinate is pretty much the website I've used for all throughout my GCSEs and throughout my A-levels. You can select topics from 22 years before. You can do anything you want. You can customize whatever topical past paper questions you want. It is basically the website for me. Anyways, once you have that, what I want you to go ahead and do is attempt as many questions as you can. If you notice a pattern of you getting most of them right, then I can safely say that you can safely say to yourself that I know this topic. But if you're getting them wrong, then you have to go back and study the topic again to make sure that you understand the concept. You need to understand more than memorize. So you have to make sure that you understand everything. So the best example that I can give is that if you're studying periodic table, then you know that reactivity in group 1 and 2 decreases down the group. Why does it decrease? Do you know why it decreases? No, it decreases because every time you go down, there's an extra shell. So the reactivity, the attraction forces between the nucleus and the outermost electron are weak. That's why the reactivity decreases down the group. The reason the first element in the group is highly reactive is because there's not much of a gap between the nucleus and the outermost electron, so the electrostatic force of attraction is kind of strong. That's why making it more reactive. You should know exactly how to describe something. There's something called the Feynman technique, which is basically, can you explain whatever you learned to a 5-year-old? If you can, that means you've understood the concept. If you cannot explain it to a 5-year-old, then what's the point of you studying? Because when you study, you should understand more than just memorize. Anyways, I've been rambling about periodic table for so long. Let's move on to my next point, which is inconsistency. The biggest mistake that you can make while you're doing your GCSEs or even A-levels is inconsistency. And the reason is because when you're inconsistent, you're going to eventually forget everything you learned. So for example, if you study for 3 months and then you leave, you don't study for 3 months, whatever you've learned in those 3 months before, when you were studying, you're going to forget it after those 3 months. So it doesn't really make sense why you would be inconsistent. I always say that, if you study 30 minutes every single day for a week, it's way, way, way better than you studying, for example, 3 hours on a single day and not studying for the rest of the 6 days. So please be consistent. If you're consistent, especially in GCSEs, if you're consistent, then it is very, very, very easy to get good grades. In A-levels, not more, but in GCSEs, it is very easy to get a good grade. And tip number 4 is utilizing your time. Now, utilizing your time, I basically just mean create a schedule for yourself. Set a bedtime when you're gonna be like, okay, I have to go to sleep now. Prepare. You can do physical activities. I'm saying that is you should have a proper routine and schedule that you can follow on a daily basis. So when you come home from school, right now I have to do this, then I have to do this, and this. Eventually at 10 p.m. is my bedtime. So you can exactly at each time of the day what you're going to be doing. So you can come home, you can do physics, chemistry. You're going to already know that you have to be doing that. And it will just boost your productivity a lot. And you can also make to-do lists. So the night before, the next day, you can go ahead and write whatever your to-do list is. So study chemistry, do a physics past paper, you can write on a to-do list and then transfer it to your schedule. Doing this basically helps you manage your time well, and you're not going to be wasting any time figuring out what should I study now. You're going to already know it beforehand because you planned it the night before. It's that easy. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. If this video helped you, please do leave a like and subscribe. And let me know what grades you get in your GCSEs. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Please go ahead, leave a like and subscribe. And check out this video on the Pomodoro technique, which is, a very world-renowned technique for productivity. And I rate its effectiveness and, basically go over through it. So you can go ahead and check it out over here. Anyways, thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.